Well, how are y'all doing and how diddly do on all that? If you're brand new to my channel, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're coming back, I want to thank y'all even more. And this is going to be a wild tale, and this really is wild, I guarantee you. But there's two things I need to ask y'all about. The first is, like me, hate me, whatever you do, just share this stuff with your friends. And at the very end of this, no, you don't forget, I'm going to teach y'all another Texan expression that by the time you're through looking at all my videos, you'll be bilingual. You'll speak American and you'll speak Texan. And also, another little thing I want to point in here, I have a good friend, Tommy Kendrick, that's a professional actor, and I'm going to put his link in here at the back, so maybe y'all get a chance to go see him. He's a really good guy. Y'all ready? Now put your seatbelt on and hang on, because we leave it from here. Doggies! So, here we go. This is exact same true story, so here's my disclaimer at the very beginning. The story you're about to hear is true. Only the facts have been changed to protect the guilty. Now, this was on a weekend night. Mother and Daddy had gone into town. They lived in a little big town called Nome, Texas. Just a wide spot in the road, but they'd gone into the big town to see a movie. Now, it wasn't any of those 1970, classics that you see, because knowing my daddy, it almost had to be a cowboy movie. He didn't like anything but Western, so I'm almost certain that they went to a Western, although I have no idea which one they went to. So anyway, they were coming home from the movies, driving home, and out where they live is only a 2-lane highway. And so they were driving along, and all of a sudden this guy appears right in front of them with his headlights on, and he hits them almost dead on center. He hits them towards the passenger side. Well, it was really, really bad. The car was totaled. My little bitty old mother, 5 foot and every bit a superhero, drugged my daddy out of that car right before the car caught on fire. Well, the other driver apparently had just disappeared. He wasn't anywhere to be seen, and that was a real tragedy because, all these people had gathered around and trying to help. This is Texas after all. And the county constable showed up, and there's all these men standing there, and it was all pretty cool, you know what I mean? And the county constable says, well, Mrs. Jones, would you recognize that man if you saw him? And my mother said, oh, yes, I would, because when he hit us head on, I could see his face like he was sitting in my lap. So I recognized it. So constable then said, well, Miss Jones, is he here? And so mother looked up and said, well, oh, yeah, there he is. He was standing in that circle of men because the impact had been so horrendous. It had knocked the radiator out of his car. And trying to drive down the road, his engine seized up because it was not being cooled. So he had only gotten like 50 feet before his car stopped. So my superhero mom looks up at that ring of bystanders and looks at this guy and looks and said, oh yeah, that's him. That's redundant, ain't it? Duh. Well, naturally, he wasn't a total fool. So they were out in an agricultural area where they raised rice. Well, he jumped the barbed wire fence and ran off through a rice paddy into the dark. Now, and here's the sad thing about this. That guy had just gotten out of the state penitentiary. Penitentiary? Where in blue blazes did I come up with that word? For reckless driving and drunk driving and hitting a pedestrian 3 days before this. I mean, some people make stupid choices. That is the dumbest thought I've ever had in my whole life. I mean, you get out of jail and then you start doing what you did to get in. I don't know about y'all. I had to go to jail. So back to our little story here. After that guy took off through the rice paddy, the constable took his finger and pointed at that whole circle of men. Men in dressed as ranchers, men dressed as farmers, men dressed as oil field workers, men dressed as businessmen, about 20 of them. And the constable, after showing that I'm pointing all of it and said, okay, I want y'all to all be deputized and go get that man. Well, this is Texas. A couple guys in nice suits jumped that barbed wire fence and took off after him in the dark. And I must tell you that you're probably going to believe this. They caught him and apprehended him. And as you can see, that's supposed to be the end, but it ain't exactly the end because the end has more stuff to add to it before it's actually the end. Well, here's what happened after that wreck. Mother and Daddy went to the hospital, and me and my two brothers met them there. This great big old Texas Ranger the size of a Mack truck came up to see us in the hospital, and he said to me, Mr. Jones, I want you to know we got him, and he's going back to prison. And, that guy obviously, of course, did go to prison. But, I wonder if maybe he just wasn't happier being in prison rather than had to live a role of accepted responsibility on the outside. Now, here goes. This is the Texas word so that you can start building that vocabulary and add on to it again. The word is known. I told you this happened in Nome, Texas. Well, the word is known, but it don't mean Nome, Texas. It means no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So instead of saying to a lady, no, ma'am, you say no. And the stupid part about this whole ding-dong thing is that she'll understand what you mean. Well, anyway, that's all for this week, except I want y'all to please have a great week. Like me, subscribe me. If you got people you hate and want to get back at them and you hate this video, send it to them. But anyway, everybody be happy, and I'll see y'all in 1 week.